Hello, everybody, and welcome back to MJ Games. I am Michael, and today we are looking at a park called Vegas by Anakin83, and I believe this creator is German. That's what I picked up from looking at the description of the park. But this park is on the PS5, and today I am joined by a special guest. I am joined by Lyric, who's a part of the Planet um, Coaster Console Discord with me. Lyric, how are you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing good. How are you, Michael?
Good. I appreciate you joining me on this park tour, just to kind of get another set of eyes, kind of looking around and giving input. And as you can kind of see, just kind of getting a overview of some of the parks. So, um, is there anything that kind of stands out to you before we get started with this park?
Um, I want to just say, first of all, this park looks really amazing. I really love the whole studios vibe it's
Mm-hmm.
given out. All different textures, and you got the canyon, western looking rock over there, and it's all kind of real, just put together real nice.
Yeah, for sure. Well, it's definitely sectioned off, which is, I feel like I struggle to do that sometimes. Like I'm terrible with theming, but this is really cool how it's like I do get that studio vibe from kind of definitely this first section of the park, and this parking lot's nice. I like too how there's kind of that retaining wall that's like the protective wall to where you don't really see necessarily into the park if you're right up there. So it's definitely well done here at the entryway. And then
Definitely.
oops, let's begin this other camera mode. And I've never really built on the tropical map before. Have you?
Um, Not really. I mean, I've kind of played around with it a little bit, but I kind of did like a little pirate coaster kind of
Okay.
theme. I had it in there, but not like fully a park per se.
Yeah. Oh, look at that warehouse back there. That's cool.
Oh yeah.
That's well
Oh,
done. I love backstage stuff. I don't know about you, but I'm.
those are just backs of the trucks pretty much into the wall, eh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then I think they is that a screen? Yeah. So it's a the billboard's lit to kind of show the screen. So that's really well done. It looks like this whole area right here is kind of a little backstage. So that's
Yeah,
really well done.
yeah. I haven't really messed around too much with like the backstage stuff, but maybe in the future I'll
Yeah,
do that.
for sure. It's fun to do. It's just kind of like for me,
It
I'm more
is.
like, oh, I struggle theming this. I'm just gonna do really well in the backstage stuff. But I don't know about you. This hotel kind of gives me like Miami type vibes or like some kind of like
I was
Florida
almost
beach.
going with if it was colorful, I'd say it looked almost like the Nickelodeon Studios.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
like kind of the structure of it.
Yeah. It looks. I mean, it's cool though. It's like
Oh no.
it's not overly complicated. Like it's pretty simplistic, but it gets the job done. Because it definitely fits the tropical theme. And then obviously the entryway here with the creator's name with that globe. You've got the ticket sign. We've got the bus stop over there. And I don't know about you, but like this is one of the coolest entrance structures I've seen with the cable wires going. Whatever this piece, these. Oh my gosh! Actually, this whole thing is custom made.
Oh wow.
Wow. That's incredible. And then like think about how like the amount of iron girders he had to use on this thing.
Man. Oh
Just
yeah. That's. Oof. That would take.
I don't think I have
Probably
the
did the
patience
same
for
thing.
that.
Yeah. Probably did the same thing on this entrance too. The
Yeah.
different pieces. It's
Just
remarkable. Like, wow.
oh yeah. I mean just a grander scheme. I mean look at that. Like that is insane. And it's just to me it just gives off such a cool look of the cable wires going to each side and then obviously you got the sign with the custom lettering and the entryway here. This is awesome. So you got these turnstiles, but then you got kind of like how now you check your tickets and it shows you are you good to go in or not. So I think that's really cool.
Wow.
And then over
Oh yeah.
here, the ones you kind of turn.
Right to get out. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is a cool ride right as we enter the park. Just to really gives you the good view. Oh, we got signs. This is something I need to do better with is adding signs to
Yeah.
um, to the park.
I recently actually just with my park, I definitely put those in for the first time I've ever kind of experienced with that, and it just brings your park more to life. It's more realistic, and
Oh, for sure.
it's, it's really nice.
Yeah, it does. Well, and it's I haven't seen anybody do a sign like this, but I think it looks awesome because it's just using coaster supports, right? And let's see, 'cause it looks like there's lights going to it. Yeah, so at night it kind of lights up a little bit. Let's check out this first coaster since we're right here. So it's called Superfly, and it almost seems more like not necessarily industrial. I don't know what the correct word would be, but it's definitely a very unique kind of theming around here, right? With all the
It
fencing and stuff.
almost gives the vibes of like the Smiler had,
Mm,
kind of
yeah,
not
man.
fully.
That'd be fun to ride that coaster someday. Hopefully. But man, this is almost like a prison. This
Oh yeah.
you're like chained in. Yeah, it's cool though. It's definitely very unique, and I mean that's just kind of cool that the coaster goes kind of right above you right there. So it looks like the coaster's gonna be coming this way. Oh, this is cool.
A lot of details.
Yeah. Well, and one thing too, like that kind of amazes me looking at stuff, because my wife and I have talked about this before, is like Planet Coaster sets up really well for you to create these boxy structures, right? But it
Mhm.
doesn't really set up well for you to create structures that aren't boxy. And so it's kind of like, you got to kind of learn how to create like different looking structures. But what's really cool about this, and to kind of see what a lot of people do, is how they make a rectangular or square kind of station look unique. And so, like you
Right,
said, just the detail that's added is awesome.
right.
Yeah. So have you ridden any flying coasters in real life?
Um, yeah, I'm towards I'm in actually Wisconsin, so I've been to the Six Flags in Illinois, and I rode pretty much everything that was there. Like, it's been about 10 years ago, so I mean, I think the newest ride at the time was The Dark Knight, so I
Yeah.
did get to ride Batman and Superman and stuff like that. I'm terrified of heights, so. Uh,
Yeah.
I love building roller coasters though in theme parks. I'm just terrified of the heights. That's about it. I love the drop though. It's really weird.
Yeah. No, I got you. I mean, Jasmine's kind of the same way. I'm trying to get her to go on coasters more. But it's the heights part, the tingling in the stomach. But I'm like,
Yeah,
that's the fun part.
it's the climb. It's the climb that's the worst. Once we get to about right here with the drop, I'm all my hands out and everything. Like I forgot I was scared of heights, but
Yeah. Man, I'll tell you what though, like I don't know if you're the same way as me, but like coasters don't really mess me up much. I feel like the two different types, like inversions can mess me up or have a chance to mess me up more than like airtime hills and stuff, like hyper coasters or gigas. Um, but like these coasters, the pretzel loop, it's like the one at the Superman. That's I went on the one at Six Flags over Georgia a couple times, and I did it this past year, and like it gave me a headache. I was like, oh my gosh, it was so intense. Just diving down face first like that is crazy intense.
yeah. The Superman was really intense to get on, to actually just get onto the ride, because you're like sitting straight up, and then all of a sudden it just tilts down and you're literally flying. And I'm like, you go like, I don't know what it actually is, like 100 something feet, and you're just in a flying position. And I'm just looking down like, if these things snap, I am
Oh yeah,
so messed up. And I was like, and they got the things around your feet to hold you on. I was like, my luck, the thing would break, and I'd just be dangling by my feet, and that would even be worse. But it's probably
yeah,
overthinking the whole situation, obviously. But yeah, it's terrifying to be in that flying position. I'd rather obviously be in just a traditional seating,
yeah.
but it was definitely a
Um,
good experience.
yeah, for sure. So do you have any thoughts on this coaster that we just experienced?
Um, I mean, I really liked it. It felt really smooth. I really liked that tunnel
Oh, the
going
tunnel's awesome.
into that invert or whatever you call it. Nice. Just felt really cool.
Yeah, for sure. I think there were a couple areas, as I agree, most of it was smooth. I think there were a couple areas that could have been smoothed out just a tad bit more. Like I think this initial hill, now it could have been this way because of having this track going right beside it, so you got to kind of give enough space. But I feel like if you just take those pieces of track and smooth them out, it'll get it more kind of a gradual decline. I mean, kind of same thing here going into the pretzel loop. But yeah, I mean, that's a fun coaster. It's not overly intense, and these are not supposed to be overly intense because of the kind of position that you're actually riding the coaster. Um, but yeah, so that was called Superfly, and I mean, it's interesting this area just kind of using the whole tarmac kind of um,
Right.
paint tool.
Yeah, looks gives it a real nice look to it.
Yeah, was this the tunnel you're talking about right here, or were you talking about the
Actually,
one
no.
at the entrance?
I was talking. No, I was actually talking about the in the little half loop, right? Straight
Oh,
loop.
this tunnel,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I really like that. That was really cool having that there.
Yeah, that was really cool. All the tunnels in this are cool. Like,
Right, with
is
the
it,
fog and mist and
mm-hmm.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it's in my new park. I think I was telling you this the other day. The people voted on having like a Fury 325 style coaster, and
Mm.
so I'm definitely gonna use this kind of idea for it. Um, of kind of using that mist and kind of creating that structure. But Fury 325's got something similar to that. So that's really well done. And of course, I love chain link fencing. Jasmine's like,
Right.
they're so ugly, but I'm like, it's so realistic.
It looks good there though. Like, I, any other fencing would kind of just be a little weird. I don't know. It just feels like that's what it's supposed to be, is chain link fence right there at least. You know, sometimes I see chain link fences and it's like, eh, that it looks actually really good there.
Yeah, agreed. Totally agree. So now let's go into the Colorado Springs area. So we got another coffee building here. So this is a large park, as some of you may have noticed when the HUD's been on the screen. We're at 100% on the PS5, and we got to keep this under an hour, so we're gonna try to make sure we see everything. But this is awesome. This little western kind of town.
Oh yeah.
I feel like you don't really see this too often, where people make like a full-on like western strip or something like this. You know, this is cool.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I think in terms of like building a whole area themed, I just kind of like get bored with like building the same type of stuff. So I think that's why it's hard to build a full area. It's just like at some point you kind of get bored with just using the wooden pieces, right?
you're telling me I'm so over Christmas stuff, dude. So over it.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I shouldn't have said anything because you've been working on your Christmas park for what, 2 months now? Is that right?
Yeah, it's just I'm so done with it. Like, it only should be up soon, within the next day or even maybe by tonight. But yeah, just the amount of, I went with Christmas because obviously it's Christmas time, but
Yeah.
there was a lot more to play with, and oh man, I know all the ins and outs of the Christmas stuff at this point now. So I'm just,
Yeah. Well, by the time this video's out, the park will be up. So what's the name of your park? So
it's called Christmas Mountain.
Christmas Mountain. All right. So y'all heard it here. Make sure to go check it out and give it a like. Um, so this is a canyon runner. So it definitely looks like mine train style coaster. The stats on these, like, it's very tough to get these in green. Um, Lateral G-force is maybe a little bit high, but let's go ahead and take a ride on this coaster. All right, so we just got off. Oh gosh, what was the name of that? Did it have an exact name? Let me see. It was, well, it's just called Canyon Runner, but I know this area was Colorado Springs. So we'll
Yep.
say we got off Colorado Springs, and normally, like, I'd prefer kind of the deserty rocks to this kind of textured paint style, but I understand obviously when we're working with the console limits, like you got to save somewhere. But I do think it was like it was pretty smooth, but it was really cool to kind of as you're kind of going through it, you're just kind of seeing these mountains and stuff. Kind of gave it a cool vibe to where it really felt like it was a different park. So I thought that part was kind of cool. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, it was. I really liked it. It was smooth. I like how the terrain is kind of like flowing with the coaster itself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I agree. Maybe could add a little bit more rock, like a different color rock, maybe just to give it a little more of a stand out a little more. But I
Yep.
mean, other than that, it's a really good. I really liked it.
Mm-hmm.
Really nice.
And I like the use of the protective fence here. Although
Right,
I don't know,
exactly.
I don't. It didn't really need protective fence there because there's not really guests over in that spot, but it looks cool.
Right,
So,
I liked it at the beginning. It seemed like it more fit there, on
yeah.
the hill, the lift hill.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah, for sure.
it was a lot nicer there. Um, Looked good there, but yeah, as of that other spot, a little weird, but it works.
Yeah, I mean it looks cool. It's just usually it's used for like protective to in case somebody drops a phone or something. But like if we look
Right,
at the elevated view, this little square, like this is really well done. And we got a flat ride in here, which that's kind of cool. They skinned the flat ride to kind of make it seem Western. Because this is normally that what's it called? This is normally that one with that weird like brain in the middle, um,
I haven't
psychedelic or
ex
whatever it's called.
I
But
haven't really messed around with too many flat rides as of right now, so
yeah.
they all look new to me.
Yeah, but that's a cool job. A nice little. Feels like it's definitely feels like a little town because when you're actually down here in guest view, you're like you can't really see anything except the big spaceship. So really well
Right.
done. Now let's move on to the next area. Oh, we got a little kids ride here. I didn't even
Oh, I
notice this
like that.
before. I love the kind of color scheme and the um, putting the lights on the supports right there.
Hmm.
Yeah, I do like a good family coaster. So not in real life, but in the game.
Right. Yeah.
In real life, I'm like, this is boring. So, oh, well, I guess we're
Must.
gonna experience this on the second time through. It almost looks like this is custom supported. I'll need to check afterwards. All right, let's see. It looks like. Hold on a second. Sorry, I had to get off that one. Yeah, so it looks like this is custom supported. Yeah, the whole thing is custom supports. That's really cool. Maybe one thing I'd suggest. Actually, now that fits. I mean, that's really cool to custom support a kids coaster like that. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I liked especially the just the random stuff he had on the ground, just to give it that more realistic vibe. Yeah, right there.
Hmm.
Just I like that.
Yeah,
So yeah, the
and
custom support's really nice.
yeah, and even having like these are not the iron girders, these locomotive rails, like it just adds that extra touch, and you've got that just that facade of that building. That's kind of cool too, because you can see here on the back that it's obviously like nothing.
Right.
um, that's a really cool touch. And yeah, and then I like the foliage throughout here too. So it really continues like even though you've got a lot of different themes, or this creator's put a lot of different themes in this park, like it's all kind of feels tropical, right? Um,
Right.
and then it mixes in a few other trees that aren't tropical, but because most of the trees are tropical, it just still seems to blend in properly. NASA.
Oh, that looks nice too.
Yep. Um, you can still see my screen and everything, right?
Yep.
Okay, sorry. Something just popped up on my screen about the shared screen ending, but I think because your PS4, it registered something different. But this is cool having the kind of that,
Oh, I like the star panel on top.
yeah, star panels for the ceiling. Really, really cool touch.
Yeah, I use
So,
star panels a lot.
hmm yeah, I need to start using them some. So we got the NASA Academy, and then we got Space Mountain and Apollo 1. Oh, so we got,
Oh,
I feel like we got to start with level 1 and work our way up, right? So
yeah.
NASA level 1. Now that is a cool, cool ride skin. Wow, that is cool.
Man, the amount of detail
It's
throughout this whole park, the detail is just
insane. Yeah.
done.
Well, and then it's like, I think, like all this is custom too. All these stairs and putting in all of this extra area up here that looks like a kind of maintenance area if
Mm,
needed. It's like the amount of custom detail on this for a flat ride is just crazy.
yeah,
Wow, that's cool.
that
Then is there
custom build.
anything? Okay, I didn't know if there's anything in here, but it's just kind of to give that see-through kind of look. Man, that's cool.
Right.
And once again, I mean, this is just I like trying to do more stuff with custom fencing, and this is a good job. Is it just kind of adds that little extra detail? Maybe the only thing I'd say is maybe kind of not space these out as much, but have them maybe every 8 meters instead of like every 20 meters or something. Um, you know what I'm saying? Just like have another one of these, this piece here,
Yeah, yeah,
have another one
right.
maybe here, and then another one maybe
Yeah,
here.
yeah, I'd put two in between that. Yeah.
Yeah. So now we got level 2. Once again, another really well kind of skinned flat ride area. Man, this is crazy detail.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Definitely.
So then we got level 3, which is, oh, is that a flat ride as well? Oh my gosh.
There's a tower,
Oh,
ain't it?
oh, hold on. That was not what I was trying to do.
Yeah, it's a drop tower. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right,
That's cool.
we're gonna have to go on this drop tower just to
Yeah, yeah,
see what it's
definitely.
like. It is annoying how sometimes like nobody wants to ride some of the flat rides, so it's like you're just waiting and waiting.
I usually just put it in test mode and go.
Yeah. Although I guess maybe we won't be able to see much, but still be cool. Yeah. I guess we really couldn't
It's,
see much, but
yeah, I know, but I mean, as you looking up there, you're like, oh wow, that's gonna be really cool. And then, yeah,
yeah.
I would have had a little more like openings
Yeah, like
somehow.
maybe at the top have an opening that you could look out.
Right.
Almost kind of like Tower of Terror like in a way of how they open up those windows when you drop. But I mean, look at that when you're up here. Like have you ever ridden you know the sundial ride in this game? The It's like the swinging swings that kind of that
Okay.
are massive. Have you been on one of those before that takes you like 300 feet in the air?
Oh no, no, never. No, I don't trust that,
Dude, my
man.
I went on one with my buddy at Six Flags Over Texas, and like I don't really get nervous or scared on too much stuff. Like some flat rides, if they spin a lot, can get me. But he's like a daredevil kind of, and like we went on it, and he was joking around that he's gonna be like pushing my swing and stuff. And I'm like, dude, you better not. Like, you better not do that. But we got like a third the way up, and he looked up, and he's like, oh crap, dude. He's like, we're so high up, and we're not even close. And like you get like literally 300 feet in the air, and like the wind is picking up too, so like you can feel it. And I'm just like, this is not.
Yeah, I don't trust
This is not my favorite thing to do right now. um, so let's go check out this Apollo 1, which before, I mean, this is really just a really creative kind of space to,
that. Oh
um, kind of use this coaster model that's like you can only do one thing with it. It's very basic. It really doesn't have much to it, but yet the way they kind of design this is just perfect. So it's kind
yeah.
of like
Right.
you're launching a spaceship. Ooh, look
Almost
at the
seems like
lights.
a dark ride.
Yeah, let's turn this to nighttime. Um, especially when these like they always have cool kind of tunnels that you kind of shoot out of or go backwards on. Um,
Hmm.
oh,
Hmm.
this is cool. Look at this. Air Force. Yeah, this is oh wow, and even this down here. So this is what I gotta do. I gotta get more detailed with my cues.
Yeah, it's tricky sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
Spend way too much time on it when you didn't necessarily have to. That's my
Yeah,
problem.
yeah. But this is a cool view of kind of seeing the launch tunnel and kind of getting a little bit of view of the rest of the park. So it says start. So this is called Apollo 1. I mean, that's almost all green, which is pretty phenomenal for this coaster type. Like those lights are just so cool.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Wow. Oh
Whoa,
wow.
whoa, oh, wow.
And then adding in that trigger as well. Wow, that's almost trippy.
Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say too.
Yeah, kind of reminds me of the. I don't know if you ever rode the Mr. Freeze ride, but it's got some of those lights that kind of do that. This is that's really cool. So we're gonna keep it at nighttime for Space Mountain. Um,
No doubt.
that that's an awesome sign. So just use the in-game signs right here. Just using two of them, and then the lettering. Which I know there's somebody on. There is letters like this. Like I don't know if you found it, but somebody on the workshop has made this
Yeah,
kind of letters. I forget who it was, but
Mavs fam 4.
a Mouse fan, yeah. Um,
Yeah, I used to actually some of his signing in my park.
okay. Yeah, and then but there's a couple other people too. Along Mavs are pretty thick, like so. Yeah, I think those are Mavs fan 4, and then there's a couple other people who've made unique style lettering too. But man, this is awesome, and like this little area here for guests to sit at and
I like
stuff,
the
and kind of
lighting.
yeah, the lighting's really awesome. This is just super well done. Oh, and they've even got a there's food and restaurant area over here. Yeah, that's a nice touch.
Oh yeah. What
Oh, and
is
that's
going
where
on?
that's where the exit is to the coaster, I'm guessing. So that's kind of cool that the exit kind of comes out to this kind of elevated area. So that's a cool touch. Man, I do not have the patience to make this.
No,
Like, what was that even?
no,
But how do you
yeah.
do the Oh, he just actually placed it through like that to kind of create the ridges. Um, but yeah, man, I think we were talking about this before one time. There's certain things I'm like, I just don't have the patience for that. That's one of them. Um,
Yeah.
this is really well done. I want to see how he made this fencing. So that's using the mouse. Okay, so it's just using this kind of ornate fence and then using the mouse section, whatever that's called, for the wild mouse coasters. Yeah. So anything else standing out to you?
Um,
Or I mean,
uh-uh.
we've probably already said it
Just
all.
yeah, right. Kind of just amazed. Just keeps getting better, I swear.
Yeah, for sure. Oh man, this lighting is
Yeah,
awesome.
I like the little lights up on top of
Yeah.
there.
No, I mean I've ridden Space Mountain, but only in Florida. Actually, I guess I rode the one at Disneyland when I was really young. So I have no idea how realistic this is to the Space Mountain at Disneyland Paris. I think is where this one is that he's modeled this one after. But that's kind of cool seeing the where the coaster would go past right there. Have you ridden Space Mountain at Disney before?
I have only been to Six Flags. I
Okay.
have not. chance to get out and try other places. I want to eventually, um,
Yeah.
but it's always so expensive.
Oh, for sure.
That's, but I
So it
watch
looks
like videos and stuff of like attractions around the world and stuff like that, so I obviously know a little bit about Space Mountain.
Yeah, it's gotten kind of rough, or at least the one at Disney has. Because I mean, it's like 50 years old right now. Maybe not quite, but yeah. So it looks like he did a strategy I've done before, where you just kind of have two tracks, and you kind of overlay it. Or this one, the track just kind of stops to have this dual kind of loading station. But I wonder how he got the.
I have not even experienced the did anything with double tracks like that before.
Yeah,
It just seems
yeah.
too intense for me at the moment.
Yeah, well, I just wonder how he got the extra. Because I feel like normally when you do this, the coaster is not actually on the station, but either way, it looks really cool. Is there a theme park pretty close to you in Wisconsin, like a Cedar Fair park or something, or is that maybe in Michigan that I'm thinking of?
Um, I mean, the only thing I can think of is in Wisconsin area. Well, we got Wisconsin Dells.
Okay.
Um, so there's a lot of different resorts there that got roller coasters and stuff like that. I totally actually forgot about that. Um, yeah, I've been to the Dells a lot, so most of the roller coasters I've rode on were there. Um,
I just
yeah.
know of a coaster called. Isn't there one called Renegade? That's somewhere in Wisconsin, a wooden coaster. I could be misremembering where it's at, but
I'm not 100% positive that name doesn't really ring a bell. I guess the only things I'm really thinking of at the moment is like we have a resort called Mount Olympus, and we got like Hades, which is
oh yeah,
when it goes into the parking lot and comes out um, like in a section of the parking lot and goes back into the parking lot. That's kind of cool. I've rode that
yeah.
before.
That one's on my top 15 list of U.S. bucket list coasters. So that one looks awesome, as well as this coaster. I mean, it's pretty phenomenal to get this track layout in this kind of tight of a space.
Yeah,
That's awesome. And
yeah, it
there's the
slows
queue.
down like that. So,
Yeah, that's really cool. Really cool. Kind of, did anything stand out to you on this coaster?
yeah. Like I said before with that in that other section, I love the effect the star panels give. It just
Oh yeah.
you can really make it feel like you're outside when you're inside, and that's just like the coolest thing about it, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean,
Yes.
the only thing I can maybe think of is maybe it needs a little bit more lighting, but I don't know how the Space Mountain actually looks if it's supposed to be dark, dark like that. But
Yeah.
that,
Yeah. So they actually are, and the it's really kind of it's kind of cool. The one at Disney is it is literally pitch dark. Like it's even darker than that. Um, and so it's supposed to be like you can barely see the track in front of you. So it's supposed to like those star panels are really accurate because it's supposed to feel like you're flying in space essentially. Um, but yeah, I thought it was a pretty good coaster. I mean, the fact that they were able to um, like keep it this low the whole time and keep it in this space is just pretty phenomenal. Like there are, I mean, that's such a
yeah,
small space to try to keep that coaster. So that is really, really impressive and really well done. Is this
yeah,
the
I agree.
queue maybe? Where you got yeah,
Yeah,
so that's kind of the queue area is having where that's kind of boxed at. That's I mean that's really well done, really impressive. Except for the world that is just floating, that is not possible. um, no, it's all good. But yeah, so this is cool, and then having this fencing up here too. I mean, there's just so many like detailed touches on this area and this park that's just like we've basically what else can we say other than it's just phenomenal.
right. And that the coaster going through that, um, actually through that glass right up on top there, that's real nice looking too.
Yeah,
Really
and you
cool.
got the um whatever those are called, the special effects, the smoke, really well done. And then I love the Vegas sign up there because that's massive, but just kind of no matter where you're at in the park, you can really just see the sign of the park or the name of the park. So that's really a really cool touch. Um, yeah, I think the Canyon Runner is probably my favorite coaster so far, but I think Area, at least so far, has been this part. Like that's just so well done. It's so different from the rest of the park. Um, yeah, so it's
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that one too. I really like the runner,
yeah,
but this area is real
and
detailed.
and then the dual leveling too. Like that's something I got to work with. Like that's not necessarily changing terrain. That's just changing the height of the pathing and stuff. So that's really cool because I feel like if we were to delete this, hold on a second. Yeah, so they didn't even have to change the terrain with it. They just changed the height of whatever these are. Oops. Um, they just kind of moved this up a little bit higher to kind of mask the curb that's standing up. But looks really cool.
Yeah, I
So,
agree.
so I believe we have two more areas left to explore. And let's kind of go back out this way. I hope we're not missing anything. Let me know if you think I've missed anything. Um,
I didn't even know there was another area. Cool.
yeah, so we got let's see. Yeah, I like this fencing here. And then they've also got the protective fencing here for the coaster,
Mm,
so that
real realistic.
so that some idiot doesn't jump the fence and try to be funny. Like, did you I don't know if you ever saw this a couple years ago. There's a really sad story where Black Zumba and Taros. There's a really sad story where at Six Flags over Georgia, like somebody dropped their hat on Batman the Ride, which is a danglefoot, and then they jumped the fence to try to get back their hat and literally like got killed because the coaster hit them. Like it's just like
Yeah, I think I heard about that. Yeah.
just a really sad story where it's like the kid made a or whoever it was made a really dumb mistake, but it's yeah. So you got to have all that protective fencing. Um,
Hmm.
so let's see. So we got Taros. Gosh, this is a cool area. I mean, just a great job of making each area just feel so separate from the rest of the park. Like,
Hmm.
like this area is awesome.
That's theming done real good.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's awesome. So Taros. So this can be a flat ride. But yeah, look at the once
All
again
that
this.
detail for just a flat ride. Oh wow,
Yeah, that's
easy.
Yep. So you got the temple blocks, and that's kind of cool using the temple block and then just putting these carved patterns on the side of it to make it look more detailed.
Hmm.
It's like a really cool touch. And then, like one thing you could do here too. So when you've got this, I wonder if it'll let me now. So let's see. Some of these that are. Let's see this for a second. So let's take that for example, and then all right. So let's take those for a second. So if you were to just slightly shift them, like literally just inch it like that. Well, I guess maybe I did just a little bit too much, but sometimes it's hard to tell if there's even like a break between the two, but then it stops that whatever that's called, where it's like the two pieces are kind of trying to fight for space and whatever that flickering is called. Um, but wow, this is
Yeah,
so cool.
yeah,
Man,
well done.
I just can't imagine doing all this for a flat ride. Pretty
Right.
insane. And then like even having the steps area here just kind of walled off properly is impressive. And I don't know about you, but I've never really built with these Adobe pieces too much.
Mm, I don't think I have either.
I don't know. But it looks like a mixture of Adobe and maybe stucco. Is that a stucco piece? Yeah, they just mixed it really well. And then you got these kind of areas up here. Wow. I love this bridge.
Yeah.
So Black Zumba. Awesome.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm. Really
I
cool
like the
detail.
speakers. I like the speakers and on the sides. Give it that realistic feel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sorry to the listeners or watch people watching this who won't really be able to hear the audio, just because it's weird that um when we do this PS share thing, it doesn't really pick up the audio of oh, there needs to be some little piece
Yeah.
there to kind of section that off.
Stuff like
But yeah, it doesn't really pick up the audio. So for you people watching at home, there's a real kind of cool jungly vibe to it. Um,
that.
maybe
Yeah,
I'll
I don't
try.
hear it, but
Yeah, I can barely hear it. Maybe I'll try to get some of that audio like separately and add that in. It's just a cool touch. But man, look at this. Once again, the detail with this station, at least on the exterior and stuff, is really, really well done.
yeah, he likes to really detail his um can't think of what I'm trying to say. Just the weight lines or whatever.
Yeah,
Maybe
for sure. The cues. Yeah.
yeah, that's what I was
So
trying
this
to
is a
say.
mind melt. So I think yeah, let's go ahead and take a ride on this coaster. All right, so we just got off the black, was it Mumba? Or no, black Zumba. Yeah, I mean the
I
design
think
of
it's
this
my
is
favorite.
really cool. Sorry, what were you saying?
I think it's my favorite.
Yeah, it was pretty smooth too, and then the whole kind of layout of it is just really like kind of down in this kind of valley. I mean, I think they probably could have used some rocks here and there. The one thing I would say, and I wonder if you kind of agree with me on this, is kind of at the exit here and at the kind of or the beginning of the ride. I feel like since it was underground, it would have, which I know they ran out of percentage, but it would have been better to kind of have this enclosed. Um, Even if they just use like art shapes or even use like these building pieces still to kind of enclose that part. Um, or they could even use rocks to kind of tunnel it off. But
Yeah.
that'd be my only suggestion.
Yeah, I like the again the terraining around the whole
Mm-hmm.
coaster. I really like coasters like that. Um, like you said, you could have used, maybe little rocks here and there. Um, but overall, really nice, really well done.
Yeah, it looks phenomenal. Really like it. I mean, the queue is awesome too. There were a couple spots, and I think this maybe right here would be because the Adobe pieces don't have, or even the
You probably just forgot. I
yeah,
mean,
what
even like doing my final touches on my park, I'm like going through every little crevice to see if I've missed anything because it's so easy just to, miss a little spot and it's
oh
so
yeah.
crucial.
Well, and it's weird too sometimes how like I just one thing I wish Planko would change in Planko 2 is like give us the option to unscale, like to change the scale of the wall size, like
Yeah,
to change it from like why does every wall piece have to be 4 meters wide? Because in a situation like that, there's not a wall piece the size that you're looking for, you know?
right. And
Um,
then when you put two and two together, it does that little glitchy stuff. So,
okay. Yeah, I agree. So let's look at this last area. So this is kind of more of like a racetrack style kind of setting. Um, and oh, this that's a cool kind of elevated look and skin there for that chair swing ride. So that looks pretty cool.
mhm.
So test track. Sorry, were you gonna say something?
Yeah, it kind of, I don't know, I got a kind of like a fair vibe from that front right
Mm-hmm.
there.
Yeah,
Nice.
definitely. Especially with how the it's just like tarmac, so it kind of almost feels like it's in like a parking lot that they just kind of plop down some fair rides.
Right.
Um, agree with you. So we got test track over here, and I like the signs too. I mean, I wish they'd let us import images on the signs or something. Like I don't. I mean, to me, that doesn't seem like it'd be that difficult to take a picture in the game and then put it on a sign. But
Yeah, that would be nice.
yeah,
It said the share place stops in 5 minutes, so I don't know.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
crazy.
I saw that too. So we'll reset the share play if we need to. But yeah, test track. So it says it's a dark. Oh, this is a dark ride. Okay, so I got to change it to nighttime again. So my first thought was this gonna be like go karts, what they call test track. But now, kind of looking at it, I don't think that's the case. Ooh, look at these cars. It's like the old school.
Oh yeah.
That's cool. I mean, kind of like you said last time, man. These cues are just really well done.
Yeah, he takes a lot of time with his cues. You can tell.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we got a coaster. I was not expecting that. Um, I like the having like the helmets over here. So that's kind of a cool little bit of detail.
Mm.
What do you think of this station, real quick?
Um, just wow. I mean, it's kind of just every aspect into this park. It's just, geez, like the creation and just the amount of ideas and whatnot of what this guy can do is unbelievable.
Yeah, agreed. Really well done. How man, that looks so cool. That train, that looks awesome. But yeah, so let's look at the stats real quick, and then I don't know. Okay, G forces exceed limits, so maybe we'll figure out where that's at. But 89 miles per hour, biggest drop 9 feet. So obviously pretty high lateral G forces, but this is more about. It kind of reminds me almost of like Formula Rosa, I guess, but not to that extent. Just kind of more of a launch coaster. So I mean, I don't. I know it said the G forces were too high, so like there were definitely a couple areas that just needed a tad bit of smoothing, and I mean, I think it's really just more banking too. Like that needed to be banked more. But like, I mean, that was my favorite coaster in the park. I don't know about you, just it was really cool.
Yeah, yeah, it's probably tied with the number one. I don't know, just at first I was like, there's not much detail, and it kind of threw me off guard because I'm just so used to a lot of detail. But I don't know, once it went going, it was like, okay, I get there's kind of no point. Maybe if he had some more detailing, like when it was going slower, it would have maybe been
Yeah,
different. But I mean, I'd ride it. Like I said, don't go high in the air. So I mean, it's kind of
yeah.
cool. I mean,
I would love to know if Anakin's watching this that like I kind of have a feeling that this ride probably took longer than any other ride because you've got each of these individual pieces that border the entire ride. And then the other thing I was noticing too is you've got these panels here. I mean,
mm,
that's just insane having to place those the entire ride. And then you've got obviously your kind of stands here to where in theory you could have like guests kind of be watching, but I mean, obviously that's tougher to do. But then also you come over here and you've got this supports and all this different stuff. But I mean, it's
yeah, I mean, I guess it's probably got the most detail out of anything. It just,
I didn't even realize that went over the entrance. Oh, that's cool. Hold on, I gotta see the coaster go over the entrance. Like that's a really cool thing. All right, so the coaster is gonna oops, it's gonna fly by, or maybe not
uh,
fly by because that's near the end. But
I kind of like the brake test part to it too. It's like, that's cool.
yeah, it's kind of like it's pretty funny, kind of
Right.
testing out the brakes here. So yeah, that's I agree, man. That's a cool kind of spot and area. Yeah, this is.
Yeah, I really thought that was a go-kart track. I mean, I guess there's one right next to it, but
Here's the go kart track. Man,
okay.
how about this? I like this little walkway. Although I feel like there need to be some other supports that kind of went somewhere. Um, so that's
Yeah.
not you in theory. In real life, you would have some kind of support there. But this is really cool. I wonder if this is a piece or did oh he actually oh that's cool using the concrete decorative course for that. That's a cool piece to use. Yeah, nice go karts, and it really
I
feels
like
kind of
the Zumba
tropical.
vibe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a lot of trees. That makes it look real nice. Cause then like you don't see the other parts of the track. You know,
Oh yeah.
like you're just like going through this whole jungle basically.
Mm-hmm. And then if you're the guest up here, you can basically see most of the track just as you're kind of waiting in line. Plus a lot of the park. So some really good sight lines here in this park. And obviously we saw this warehouse stuff at the beginning. So yeah, let's so now as we wrap this up, what are your final thoughts? Or which coaster did you like the most first off?
I'm still gonna go with hmm. Well, yeah, I guess I'll go with the Black Zamba or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, a favorite ride overall. I'm really digging the go-karts. Um, I
Okay.
really, I don't know, just the jungle aspect of it. I really
Mm-hmm.
like it, and
Oh, this
especially like the Kuwait or the Q or whatever, going up and over. Again, this guy just puts a lot of detail and thought into his cues.
mm-hmm. And also I didn't even notice before, but it's like the screens that would show like the standings and stuff, and then you've got your trophies up here, so like your first, second, and third place. That's a
That
really
is kind of
cool touch and detail. Um, yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I agree. I think this one is themed really well. I think my favorite, just in terms of the actual coaster, would be the test track ride,
mm,
um, with the blacks Zumba coming second. Um, but in terms of my favorite themed area, it's probably got to be this part. I just think this kind of whole. I mean, the Space Mountain part's amazing too, but this part really just kind of stood out the most to me, especially how the coaster like really interacts with the terrain and interacts with the guests a lot and stuff, and it's really impressive.
yeah, I'd agree. It's well
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, for sure. Now, any other final thoughts as we wrap up the video?
I want to see more from this guy. I mean, he's definitely talented, and he puts a lot of thought into it. And I mean, amazing park.
Yeah, I agree. He has had a couple other parks before this that have been pretty good too. One of them had like a Jurassic dinosaur area in it that was pretty cool. Um, but yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what he's able to come up with next. And because I mean, obviously this is pretty awesome. Um, I mean, it's beyond awesome. I think saying pretty awesome is an understatement. I mean, just the detail, like we even talked about at the beginning, just the detail for these entrance buildings is just insane.
Right.
Like, just I mean, 240 pieces for just that. Like that's insane right there. And then you've
Yeah.
got hold on, that's not even put up as a building. Yeah, so I really appreciate Lyric for you joining me on this tour. It was a lot of fun, and we should hopefully do some more of these in the future. So I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, man. Appreciate you having me on, and I would be definitely down to do more.
Yeah, of course. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and make sure to hit that like button. If any of y'all have anything that you would like for Jasmine or I to look at, just make sure and drop a comment below and let us know. And I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day.